Conscious coaches and healers are able to attract to them high-ticket clients who are willing to pay them more than $5,000 for their offers. Okay, so this is a very important topic because so often I see amazing spiritual coaches, amazing healers who are really good at what they do, but they keep bringing in this low-ticket clients who are not able to pay whatever it is that they're actually asking, so then they lower their price. So you might be in that position right now when you end up lowering your fee to accommodate the market instead of the other way around, when you are actually choosing your market and choosing your fee, but then staying with that frequency no matter what happens, and perfecting your way of delivering and selling to that kind of an audience instead of lowering everything just to accommodate the audience. Okay, that's never an answer. When we end up creating something that is out of scarcity, we cannot create abundance. This is kind of universal law, right? You can only create abundance out of abundance. So if you are in a place where, let's say, you're have some online presence, you're signing some clients, and maybe you're generating like $3,000 a month or so in your business, but then you're struggling to get to that consistent at 8K or 10K months, like something that will actually get you to 6 figures. So this is going to be for you. Or if you're forcing yourself into strategies that feel kind of masculine, like very rigid things that you were told you're supposed to do, especially if you are a female conscious coach, like somebody in a personal transformation niche. A lot of times for us, those traditional masculine strategies don't work. That's not to say that they are bad strategies. They're really like all proven strategies are great strategies and they work. But you have to make sure that those strategies are also blended with something that is natural to you. Otherwise, if you follow a very rigid strategy, kind of like to the T, you're not going to be necessarily happy with the result, because you're probably going to feel trapped in the very strategy that you think is going to get you to where you're going. So if you know that you are meant for big things, like you have a mission, you have something to do here, like you have your soul work to deliver to the world, right? And you're ready, you like in your heart of hearts, you know, like this is my time, I'm ready to go for it, but you're not sure how to charge higher fees so that you are well resourced to actually be at the level that you want to be doing your soul work. Right? So if you feel aligned, charging $5,000 to $15,000 for your offers, this means that you want to go into the premium level coaching model instead of staying in a lower level coaching model. Okay? So if your clients have amazing results, that's a clue that you're able to go into the premium level model. But a lot of times there are so many misconceptions on what's in a way and what do you need to actually know or be in order to be able to sell higher level offers. So let's say your clients have amazing results, but then you feel like you're working all the time because you have so many of the clients who are low ticket clients, right? So maybe you don't even have that many clients, but you're working all the time and you're marketing, trying to get those lower level clients. That's even worse, because that means you're keeping yourself busy with things that don't necessarily actually move the needle in your business. They kind of like more mundane things in your life. But the problem is you feel exhausted. It actually doesn't feel good. And then you feel like you're constantly hustling, chasing clients. You know, chasing clients is kind of not a friendly energy. It's something that doesn't feel good. It feels out of integrity. And if you're right now the place where you feel like, oh my God, I'm like chasing clients, that's a clue that you're in an incorrect frequency within yourself, and chances are your business strategy and your marketing strategy need adjustment, because chasing clients to only then get them finally into, you know, Messenger and then maybe on a call to do a sales conversation and hear like, well, I don't know, let me think about it, or, oh, that's too expensive, I can't afford it. That's horrible. That feels really bad, and nobody really likes hearing that. And if you're constantly putting out freebies and you're networking all the time, and you feel like you haven't figured out how to find those premium level clients, well, there is a system and a sequence in doing this correctly in order to bring in to you the premium level client. But if you're doing all these activities incorrectly, You end up with just a lot of activities, right? Marketing activities, like doing all these little things that somebody told you to do, or you took a course, or maybe you had a coach that told you, well, this is what you should do. But if you're doing them incorrectly, then it's a lot of wasted energy. So I'm speaking to you today because I see this so prevalent in the marketplace, especially among spiritual coaches, conscious coaches, healers, people in the personal transformation niche. They try to apply traditional, masculine, very rigid strategies, but all that feels like is like you're trapped, or you're twisting yourself into some psychological uncomfortable pretzel, and then you're not happy in it, and the result is not quite there, or at least not at a level that you think you're supposed to have. That's because it's not soul aligned. That's because your strategy is not paired with the feminine side of business, which is the energetics, which is the way of how you're doing what you're doing within your body, like embodiment and so on. Those two actually need to come together. When you have too much of one or too much of another, the business doesn't work, right? Too many business marketing strategies, too many rigid activities that you are pre-planning, and that would feel very dead very soon if you're a conscious person. It would make you feel trapped. And if you're on the other side and you're kind of like hoping and wishing that it will work out because you did a vision board or you set an intention, that's also not really a business strategy, because that does not have anything applicable to the third dimension, to the material plane of existence, which is where we're trying to create a business. So the key is to blend the two together, because if you don't do that, then by the end of the day you're feeling like, well, I still haven't figured it out. Where are those premium level clients? And I'm struggling and I'm working so much, and kind of makes you feel like a failure, and that's not a good feeling at all. And worst of all, it makes you doubt your own soul work. And that, I totally don't stand for that. I think that if you in your being know this is what I'm meant to do, then you are meant to do it. You just need to find a way to do it that works for you. This is what I do with my clients. I am a business strategist and a marketing coach. I do messaging, energetics, and all sorts of other energetics. So I work with spiritual coaches, conscious coaches, healers, and I help you guys save years of pressure and forcing yourself into rigid masculine strategies that don't work for you, and instead align you to your unique soul design, align you to something that is natural for you. That way you get to focus on your soul mission and actually do what you came here to do your soul work, and get paid well for doing your soul work. So if you know in your being that you're meant to do something and it's important, and you're bringing this gift through you to the world, if you're in the personal transformation niche, then that's exactly what you're meant to do. It's just you need a different way of doing it that is actually working at the premium level market. Because if you don't do that, then you end up with a doubting of your own soul work, doubting if you can ever get to 6 figures or whatever. Most coaches don't even get there, right? Most spiritual coaches barely make $2,000 a month, and that's even if they do that. So I make more than 100 per month. So it just shows you that there are possibilities here. But when you're able to be within the correct energy, within the correct strategy, when you are a conscious being that is utilizing your consciousness, you're going to have much better result. That is what I did long time ago. When I started, I tried to do only spiritual thing, and that didn't really bring a lot of money. And then I tried to do only the business thing, and that felt like I was killing my soul. So then I realized that I was actually separating the two when they meant to be together. I created my conscious future method, which is how I work with my clients and what I do with myself. So I'm able to bring in a lot of income, and I'm able to teach my clients how to do the same thing during the process of application of the business strategy, which is practical and profitable and actually has sequences and all that stuff, the masculine side, but also utilizing the feminine side, which is the energetics, which is the consciousness, which is the nonlinear quantum creation, and so on. All those components are really important if you want to actually be well resourced while doing your soul work in a world. Okay, so here are the common mistakes that I see coaches make, especially spiritual coaches, when they try to sell their work. They choose low ticket niche, and then they end up only selling low end or hearing like, I can't afford you, and they're wondering why. They don't realize that they subconsciously chose a low ticket niche. They actually limited themselves when they were thinking that they're not, because they were over teaching instead of marketing. Most spiritual coaches or conscious coaches or healers actually don't know how to market. You need to learn that skill. Most of you only know how to teach, and you might be awesome teachers, but teaching is not going to sell premium level programs. Marketing will, teaching will not. So if you're noticing that you have no idea how to actually market and all you're doing is you're teaching and then kind of like giving free content, doing a lot of this offering for free stuff, maybe even giving away free sessions if you're still doing one-off sessions, and then wondering why is it that people take the free but then don't go any further with you, that's because you end up teaching more than actually marketing, and because you subconsciously chose a low ticket niche. So that is one of the biggest mistakes that I see with the conscious coaches, okay? Another one is, another mistake is choosing on what will sell instead of what's in your heart. I know this is one of those things that people say like, yeah, but you need a business strategy. You can sell anything. I have my clients that sell like the most out there multidimensional stuff. It's not that you have to give up on whatever is in your heart that you want to sell. And you can sell it premium too. The issue is it needs to be packaged right. If it's not packaged right, then yes, you cannot sell it. So most coaches out there that just teach business side without this consciousness piece that I'm bringing to you here, and I'm a business coach with consciousness. I'm clairvoyant from birth, so I see energy and multidimensional and all that. So I naturally pair the two. So most coaches out there that are just business, they will tell you, you know, forget your soul work, forget that whole multi-D thing that nobody will buy or even understand, and instead sell what sells. Even if it kills your soul, even if it feels miserable, even if you don't care about it, but hey, at least you make money. That is not the way to go. Even if it's true at the beginning, fine, you might sell a couple of things because you just tested the market and yes, they need it and you sold it. But how do you feel doing it? Would you want to do it for the rest of your life? Probably not. And would that actually get you to 6 figures or multiple 6 figures in your business? Definitely not. So it's not a sustainable strategy, and it's actually not in integrity. Anything that's not in integrity in the universal sense cannot be sustainable. So I just want you to understand that integrity is actually only, it's like a key to bringing the goodness of the universe to you. When you're not in integrity because you're kind of like sacrificing your own inner code there or alignment because, well, but I gotta do this. Well, but, you know, I feel bad spamming people on Messenger, but my coach told me I should, so I will. Or, well, I feel bad reaching out to these people, but I will anyway. Like, you got to listen to your own inner compass. You know, especially if you're a conscious coach, like you teach personal transformation, of course you know. So trust that, because it actually pays to be in integrity than not. So selling just because it sells is a really bad marketing strategy. And a third mistake that I see often is not speaking to your soul niche. What I mean by a soul niche are the spiritually matching you people. Somebody who is similar to you in a way, or maybe you a little bit earlier in your timeline, like in your past, that is going through something similar, but at the same level of consciousness. When you start to speak to people, when you feel like you're speaking to children, or when you're speaking in a way that doesn't feel like you even understand how they think, that is a clue that you're not speaking to your soul niche. You're speaking to some niche you mentally decided would be the profitable niche. That also does not work long term. It's not a sustainable strategy. Short term, sure, it can do a little bit for you. But if we're talking about actually doing your soul work, you cannot do your soul work with people that are not on the soul level contracted with you. You cannot. So if you're here in your heart of hearts, know that this is my thing, like I'm meant to do this, whatever it is. Maybe you work with fairies, maybe you do tarot cards, maybe you do personal transformation in relationship that helps somebody open up their creativity or own their confidence, or maybe you're somebody who helps with career by activating their, I don't know, dragon power. It doesn't matter what it is, but you know that this is your thing. If it's packaged right, it could actually be sold and sold at the premium level. But if instead you're trying to sell the thing that you think will sell to the people who you think will buy it, it doesn't work. It actually, in the universal law, kind of like you're sabotaging yourself. So how do conscious coaches and healers attract high-ticket clients who are willing to pay them more than $5,000 for their offers? Well, are you ready for the answer? It's not about picking the people who have money to spend. It is not about being someone that you are not. It is not about some extra qualifications that you don't have and you gotta go study more and get them. The answer is that the conscious coaches who sell high ticket with integrity, they are doing these three things. I'm going to give you these three things. This is part of what I teach with my clients, where I actually go deeper in it and tell them how to do it. So here I'm going to name those things for you. So number one is focusing on selling one premium level offer. Okay. Number two, know how to clearly articulate the value of your work. Whatever that soul work that you're bringing through, it's not teaching about it, which is what unfortunately most conscious coaches do. They just teach about their work. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about clearly articulating in the marketing sense the value of what this thing will actually do for the client. Okay? And three, they are able to remain in correct energetics. So they are the frequency match for their ideal soulmate clients. Okay? So if you want to sell high ticket, which means clients that pay you $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $15,000, like higher level for your offers, you need to implement those three components, okay, in your coaching business. Without that, you literally cannot have a sustainable business. You can have a hustle type of a business that barely make it, but it's not sustainable. This is why so many coaches burn out, because they try so hard and then nothing's working, and then they just think, well, it must be me. I must be somehow bad. When actually it's not you. You're not bad. There's nothing wrong with you. But if you're not packaged right, if you're not presented right, if you don't own the value of what you're doing, if you don't know how to market, and you don't have correct business strategies that are blended with the spiritual side of you, then of course it's not working. Not because of you, but because you literally don't have the proper foundation to launch yourself into a business that can make 6 figures and more. But it's totally possible. I have lots of clients who did that. From foundation of just like, okay, I'm making about $3,000 a month and I barely know what I'm doing, but my clients love me. They have great results. So obviously I know that I'm good at what I do. I have some social media presence, but I have no idea how to talk about what I do. And I don't know why I don't, I'm not able to sell higher level, programs. And then we adjust all of that. And then they do. And then they sell like $8,000 program, $10,000 program. So it's a process, it's a learning, it's a trainable, learnable skill. You can actually learn that, and you don't have to give up on your soul work. You really don't. So let's look at what those 3 things mean. I'll open them up a little bit for you, the 3 things I named. So number 1, focusing on only selling one premium level offer. What that means is you clean up all the lower offers, all the little thingies, and you upgrade your current offer to at least $5,000, because I know sometimes people think that it's high ticket or premium when it's like $2,000. That's not. Anything that's pretty much under $5,000 is not even considered premium level. I would say $10,000 is more of a premium level, but let's just give it a lower range of 5. So you kind of have to upgrade your offer to that, okay? And you need to get testimonials from your already existing clients who are having great results. And you need to know how to do this correctly so that that can actually present the value of your work to the people that you want to bring in. Number 2 is to clearly articulate the value of your work. So this is something that I was saying earlier about not teaching, but actually marketing. Know how to do that. Teaching belongs on the inside of your programs. That's where you work with your clients and you teach. On the outside, you don't do that. On the outside, you need to get very clear on the steps you're guiding your client through so they can understand the process. You need to get very clear on how what you do benefits the client in the way that they actually see it. Not what you know they need, but what they know they need or want. Okay? And you need to get clear on what makes you different. This marketplace, especially coaching industry, is pretty saturated with a lot of people, and not all of them are really unique, let's just say. So if your soul work is being activated through you, that's naturally unique, because nobody can do what you do. You're a one-time cosmic event. You're only one you there. So you need to figure out how to position that in a way that you're constantly explaining what makes you different. You know, it's the same reason why I tell you guys that, yes, I'm a business coach, and I've actually been a business coach for a long time. I've been in business for over 20 years, and I'm successful, and I have a lot of clients. But I'm also a conscious person. I'm clairvoyant, I see energy, I'm multidimensional, I do a lot of personal transformation, work with my clients. So that shows you that, okay, she's not a typical business coach. You know, she's somebody who knows all this businessy marketing stuff, but she also knows the other stuff. Like, she can speak my language, she can understand these things and help me translate them into, you know, third dimensional human speak. That's what makes me different. So I speak to that. The reason I speak to that is not to say like, hey, I'm amazing, which I am, but because I am showing you that this is why you need to pick me if you're looking for something of this type. If you're not, you wouldn't pick me anyway. I'm not here to convince anybody. But the reason we want to speak to what makes us different is because there are some people who are listening to you who are looking for exactly what you are. But if you didn't tell them that that's what you are, why would they pick you? Why would they reach out to you? They would not. So you want to make sure that you speak to whatever it is that makes you unique, so that the people who are searching for that specific, unusual combination of factors can recognize you and want to go for you, okay? And the number 3 is being the incorrect energetics within yourself in frequency match for your ideal clients. What that means is that you become clear on the frequency of your ideal clients. Like, you actually know what frequency they vibrate at, because if you don't know that, you will be all over the place. Also, you need to master your own emotional waves. You know, like this, when we like super high, very excited, and you crash down and self-doubt. You're super high and you're so creative and inspiration happening, and then you go down into I'm not good enough. Well, these things, they cannot happen in business on the front end. They can happen on the back end, and they're supposed to as part of personal transformation. But there are strategies, and I actually teach a lot of those personal transformation strategies on self-mastery. You have to master those waves in a way that do not affect your business negatively. That's energetics component. And you also need to apply non-linear quantum creation into your business. So if you think of like most business strategies, they're linear strategies. You just like step 1, step 2, step 3, that's a linear strategy. Quantum creation is a non-linear strategy. That's like when you, I don't know, speak over here, put a post over here, and then somebody calls you that didn't read either one of those things, but somebody who read this thing told them, and then they contact you, and you like, as if this client magically showed up and you don't even know how. That's non-linear creation. So you can actually tap into that and utilize that a lot. And I know that a lot of spiritual coaches naturally do quantum creation pretty well. But if the number 2 part, the emotional waves, is still a mess, well, that's going to sabotage this amazing quantum thing you got going, the non-linear creation. So that's why it's so important to get those together. And this is literally what I do with my clients. So if you want to be selling those, you know, higher offers like 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, and in a way that feels soul aligned, in a way that feels in integrity, in a way that feels like you're energetically resonating with the people, then I definitely invite you to apply to work with me. This is what I help my clients to do. So if you're a highly self-aware person, and you're a successful coach or a healer, and you know you're successful from the fact that your clients have great results, and maybe you're generating something like 2, 3, 4,000 a month, maybe sometimes 10, maybe you had a launch and you made 15, and that's awesome, and then it kind of goes down and you don't know what you're doing. You know that in yourself. If you're honest with yourself, you know, like when you feel like, okay, I want to go further, I know I'm meant for bigger things. This is not a hobby for me. This is not like a passing interest. This is my soul work. Like, I'm meant to do this. And I have to do this. It's in my heart of hearts. It's asking me to do it. My soul is asking me to do it. If you're in that place, you literally need correct business and marketing strategy and energetics non-linear component to be able to birth that soul work in the world in the correct way. And there are some systems to do so. This is what I teach. So if you know that this is what you're missing, then reach out to me. Definitely. And put the heart emoji under the video so then I know to connect with you, or you can just message me directly. I would love to have a contact point with you where we can set up a conversation. I can look at your specific business situation. We can see what you're doing. Like if you're serious about really going for it, not just kind of like, well, okay, that will be nice, but you're really at the place where, all right, this is what I meant to do. I've been trying to do this for maybe a couple of years and I'm doing something's happening in my business. I'm making money, but I'm struggling. I'm hustling. I'm overworking. I'm not seeing the results I want to be seeing and I'm not sure what's going on. And I know that my messaging is off. I know I'm not quite saying the right things. I'm trying this. I'm trying that. A lot of times people try to do this from the watching like other coaches on the outside, trying to mimic that and thinking that this, if I just kind of copy that and apply it to my business, it would work. It does not. You have to be on the inside of the business to actually know how the business works. You cannot kind of guess what it looks like from the outside, because from the outside, you're on the receiving end. You don't understand the strategy behind, let's say, making a video, a strategy behind making a post that converts, or making a webinar or a free conversion event that actually brings you clients. You just see people doing some freebies, so you do a freebie, but it's a teaching freebie, so it does not convert. You see people doing, let's say, challenges or something like that, and you think, oh, I can make my own challenge. You do that and it doesn't convert, even though a lot of people come and have a great time. And then you're wondering, well, they must all not be able to afford me or something. Like, why wouldn't they sign up? And it's because you don't know how to do it. You're mimicking what you're seeing on the outside, but that is not the same thing as what the actual strategies are behind it that make it work. So if you want to learn this, if you're ready, if you're at the place where like, I know this is my thing and I'm ready to step up and claim that this is what I want to do, then reach out to me. Put the heart emoji under this video and we'll connect. We'll set up a call. I will look at your specific situation. We would look at where you are aligned, where you're not aligned, like with your soul work, what you're doing in your business, and what is standing between you and that multiple six-figure amazing business when you are doing your soul work at the high level that you know you meant to do. I will give you a plan. I will literally show you like, okay, this is the things that need to be adjusted. This is what's off. And then I will show you how I can help you specifically, like what my program does, that is exactly the thing that you're looking for or needing. And if it's not, then you go on your way. So my point here is that it's your time now. It's all this thing about, but I'm not ready, but I need to learn more, but what and what and what. That actually is a sabotaging strategy. If you think you can kind of duct tape that and sort of try to figure it out by looking at other people, it's a detour. And we've all been there, so not shaming or anything, like I get this. Everybody's done that at some point in their business. But long term, that's not actually a strategy. You can't guess how to do premium level coaching. You have to actually learn how to do premium level marketing and business structures, okay? With the conscious frequency of higher level quantum field active within whatever you're doing in your business. So I really would love to help you. I invite you to apply to work with me so that you can get to that next level and do your amazing soul work that you know you're meant to do in the world, and actually feel good about how you're doing it so that it fits you and it feels natural. All right? My love.